How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Scarlet, and welcome back to a brand new rumor video, guys. Today, we're going to take a look at some Pokemon news and rumors later in the video, so let's get started right off the bat. First things first, guys, we have official news. Yes, so this is coming to us directly from Cerebi, saying, Cerebi update, the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Iron Hands distribution event to celebrate the European International Championship has been revealed, and the code to get it is FakeOut EU1C. So literally all you got to do to actually get this is type in the following code up here. You guys can see I've highlighted it. That's the code. That's pretty much all you got to do. Just shove that in there, and I think you guys will be fine. That's all you got to do, and you're going to be able to do this until April 8th. So until Monday next week, you're going to be able to do this. If you don't do it now, you're not going to get it at all, but it's great if you don't already have an Iron Hands that's very good, competitively viable. This is a perfect one for exactly that. Like, this is literally the perfect Pokemon for that. So this is pretty much all you're going to be needing in that regard. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first thing. Definitely something you guys should do. It's an event in Scarlet and Violet, of course. So definitely go get your hands on it right now. Again, the code is FakeOut EU1C. So FAKE0UTEU1C. That is the code. Go get it if you haven't already. Definitely worth it. If, like I said, if you haven't got it, definitely go get it. But yeah, let's move on to the next subject of today's video. But like I said, get this thing. So next up is going to be this right here. This is also information coming to us directly from Cerebi, saying, Cerebi update, the latest Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Terra Raid Battle event is now live. If you guys don't know, it is Meganium in a 7-star Terra Raid battle. It's going to be going until Sunday, April 7th. So you got quite a bit of time, actually, to deal with this one and have fun with this one and get your hands on it. It's going to be running for a while. So, like I said, definitely worth getting. It's going to be available in all the black Terra Raid crystals. Go do those. It's going to be a 7-star one. And I think it is, what did they say here? I think this is a... is it a Psychic type? I think it's a Psychic type. I could be wrong. But definitely go get your hands on it. If you haven't already, definitely do go get it. Some people are already getting their hands on it. As you guys can see, people are already battling it. But yes, go catch it. Go get it. It is a strong Meganium. Definitely useful to have. And also keep in mind, these events will eventually never return. So if you don't get one now, you're never going to get this thing. And it's just cool to have into the future and just something to collect, right? If you're a collector, it's definitely worthwhile to go get one. How useful it's going to be for you, that's a bit more debatable, but definitely worthwhile getting nonetheless, though. Now, speaking of the Pokemon World Championship that we mentioned, like, so this specific Iron Hands is specifically for this event. Well, it's the World Championship, the European International Championship, and this is to qualify for the World Championship of Pokemon. But interestingly, this is going to be taking place today and over the course of the next few days. However, there is something very interesting about this event, which is that they mentioned that during the Sunday, the day, like, I guess the third day of the event, so on Sunday, apparently on day 3, they're going to reveal something. They're going to reveal something important. I don't know what it's going to be, but apparently they made a point out of mentioning that they're going to be revealing something. So we'll see if something happens on Sunday or not. Maybe they announce like the actual date of the World Championship, like the exact day it's going to be happening. Maybe they announced something else. Like, who knows? It could be something massive, could be something nothing. It literally depends on how you want to view it. So definitely do go and have your hands on that if you do want to know a little bit more. Next up, though, I want to talk about this post by Dusty. Now, Dusty made this post a few days ago, I think. And he basically said the following, which is, he listed all the Pokemon regions, right? And when the last time was that we visited any of these regions. And if you look at this, right, if you really look through it, the last time we visited Kanto was in 2018. Of course, let's go Big Chernivi. The last time I visited Hoenn was in 2014. That was, of course, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Last time I visited Sinnoh was 2022 with BDSP, or Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl, the remakes of Sinnoh. Then last visit to Unova, he says it's 2023. I mean, technically, yes, we did visit the Unova region in 2023 because of the Indigo Disc. Like, the Indigo Disc DLC is set in Unova. Like, the actual school is set in Unova. So, technically, we did visit it. Like, technically, we did. If you want to argue that point, right? We technically did. Next up, however, is this one right here. Last visit to Kalos, 2025, right? Because that's when we are going to be getting next year, when we're going to be getting Legends ZA. So we're going to be going to Kalos or Lumios, but it's still in Kalos. And then Alola last visited was with Ultra Sun and Moon in 2017. Galar last visited was 2020, which was the Crown Tundra and Isle of Armor, I'm guessing. Paldea last visited was in 2023, of course, which is when the, like last year with the DLC release. Actually, technically, you could say 2024 because we also had the whole, actually, never mind, that was Kitakami. But yeah, 2023, right? So the point is, out of every single Pokemon region, Kanto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, Alola, Galar, Paldea, all of them have been visited in recent time, except one, which is Johto. The last time we've been to Johto was 2009, which was for Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which is very peculiar and very specific. Now, it's really odd. I don't know about you guys, but isn't it odd that the one region we haven't gone to is this one, and today, this year, not today, but literally this year, is the anniversary of this exact generation, of this region, right? It's 25 years. The 25th year anniversary of Gold and Silver is this year. 25 years of celebration, man. And there's nothing. There's no information. There's no hints. There's no new game. There's not even like a re-release or anything, man. They've done nothing. But that's not even all. It's also, if I'm not mistaken, the 15-year anniversary of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which came out in 2009. So it is 2 anniversaries. And yet we've gotten 0. We've got nothing. Like, there's nothing interesting happening with Johto. Like, not even just a nice little, like, I don't know, port. Like, port the game. Just give us the game again. Give us the same exact game, port it to the Switch, so at least people can legally, wink, wink, so people can legally actually play it on their Switch. But, like, they didn't even do that. It's so weird. I don't understand why they're being so, like, picky about it or being so difficult about it. But this is pretty much where they're at this point. Like, they just haven't even bothered trying it. So it is a bit odd one. And there is, of course, a chance that Pokemon Works. And when I say Pokemon Works, I'm talking about the company Pokemon Works, or Works Pokemon. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But that company is a new company that's being worked on by Ilka, right? It's Ilka together with the official Pokemon Company Incorporated. The two of those have come together to make a new company called Pokemon Works. This Pokemon Works subsidiary is supposed to be working on video games. Now, I'm hoping that what they're working on is stuff like that, like remakes of other Pokemon games. Like, for example, Johto. It would be lovely if that's maybe announced this year, right? Maybe in June or May, they could announce that, hey, we still got another Pokemon game for this year, but it's not made by Game Freak. It's a new type of Pokemon game. It's a new type of remake, and it's kind of a reimagining of sorts. Like, I would love that. I would love for them to just do something to, like, bring back Johto. I love Johto. Johto doesn't get enough love, in my opinion, because people hate the original Gold and Silver for some reason. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, in my opinion, are best Pokemon games ever made. Hands down, best ever Pokemon games made. They just ooze passion. And I just want to get that feeling again. I want to go back to Johto. I want to enjoy Johto. I know people hate it, but I love it. And that's just where I'm at with that. So I'm hoping that maybe, because there is a chance, right? They have done, and I've done this before. I've talked about this in several videos, but they do these press conferences, right? They do these press conferences in May. Usually the month of May is when they do these press conferences, and during these press conferences, they do have a tendency to announce some stuff, right? They have a tendency to announce a few different things, and I'm hoping that this time around, they're going to announce something actually valuable, like there's going to be something of value there, but that's about it. Like, that's I really don't know what else to really think about this. That's pretty much where I'm at in regards to any of this. Like, I don't really know what to say. I'm just hoping that since they've done these press conferences before, they did with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, they announced Quest during that period of time, and it was all during May, and usually Pokemon remakes, FYI, by the way, Pokemon remakes used to always get announced in May or June. It's always like the middle of the year. They never got announced during Pokemon Day, so I'm hoping that's going to be the same thing here. They're going to announce a new Pokemon game for this year, but it's going to be announced in May or June, because, again, they have done this before. This is not out of the realm of possibility or super odd or out there. You know what I mean? It's a very possible thing for them to do. Now, moving on, we have a bit of a 4chan post. We actually got 2 of them. The second one here, we're going to go through the second one first, because it's a bit of a shorter one and it just doesn't have a lot to say. But it says, Pokemon 10, 30 years, and then Quaxi. So, he says, I work at Pokemon. I had a chance to work on the new generation games, Generation 10 Pokemon starters, and here's what he says. Apparently, the first one is a raccoon thief-looking Pokemon, which is a grass fighting type, a dinosaur water steel, and a bird fire fairy. Legendary, a Pegasus fairy flight, and snake grass ice, and the legendary wicked minotaur fighting dark. So, just a quick little rumor. I don't think this one is real. It's way too early to be talking about Gen 10 yet, unless, like, leakers already have their hands on it, but even that feels a little bit, you know, I feel like it's a little early to talk about that. Okay, I think it's a little bit too early to talk about that. So it's pretty much where I'm going to leave that one at. However, there is this other post that was made, which I actually think is a more interesting one. So this one goes and says the following, which I think it's a pretty interesting post, like I said. So it says Pokemon Legends ZA situation by Anonymous. Now he says, so people have been scouting through 4chan and Twitter for any information about PLZA. Welcome to my life. But the thing is, as far as I know, there's no actual leaks about PLZA anywhere. Even leakers like Ridley had no idea there was going to be a Legends game based on Kalos. Because of that, people lost their trust in Ku. And if you guys do not know who Ku is, he's the Riddler. He's an actual Pokemon leaker who's been correct a lot of times in the past. Now, people don't really trust him much because he wasn't correct about Kalos being next or whatever. Like, he didn't say much. He did leak the code name of the game, which was a little bit random. But he did that, like, the day before, and people didn't really trust him. But nonetheless. Now, he says this. Now he continues on here and says that, and because of that, people lost their trust in Ku. Even the Pokemon Company Incorporated was kind of hinting about Johto and Unova. But I think I know what's happening inside of the Pokemon Company. Now, this is coming from my source that I have known for a while. They're not the best at this kind of stuff or this kind of things, but they did give me information in the past that was real. So, hey, well, we'll take that with a grain of salt because, again, it is a rumor. Again, it could mean anything. By the way. Now, due to the mid reception, apparently, of Scarlet and Violet, and the impact made by Palworld, the Pokemon Company Incorporated is trying to change some things up by listening to the online criticism. I don't know how much I believe that. I mean, I would believe it to some extent. I do think that, I do think Palworld definitely made an impact on Pokemon and the Pokemon Company and Game Freak and all of them. I do think it definitely made some impact and maybe made them course correct and change direction on some of the stuff they're doing. I highly doubt it's going to change anything that's massively down the pipeline already, but it will change some things for sure. Now he says here that Game Freak closed their doors while making PLZA. Now, this is the reason why no one knew about this game. They are so tight about this making a secret that even employees at Game Freak refuse to talk about the game to each other, and only when they're actually developing the game. Okay, that's interesting if that's how they actually operate at the office. That would be so insane that's how they're that's how deep they're trying to go with this, with trying to hide it. If it's true, of course, but it would be pretty wild, I'm not gonna lie. Now, he continues on and says the following, which is the Pokemon Company Incorporated has a massive eye on the internet, I guess, online, to catch anyone who leaks real stuff. So I guess they're trying to make sure that nobody leaks real information. Now, that is also another main reason leakers refuse to leak stuff. But there is also hope that after the first half of the year, information will start slowly come out because the Pokemon Company Incorporated will most likely shift their focus on marketing and stuff. I don't think there is going to be a legit leak until the start of June, July, which, to be fair, that's also when we're expecting actual official news to happen. So, and that's also when Ridley pretty much said that he's going to be returning with leaks. He did say for the first, half year of 2024, he wasn't going to do shit, and he's going to return after that. So, I'm assuming that's when he's going to show up. We'll see. Now, he says, even my sources don't know anything about the state of the game. Leaks will only come out when the Game Freak themselves open their doors to the Pokemon Company for marketing and trailers. Ilka is also doing some stuff in the background that people are saying Unova remakes. Okay, so this is interesting. Now, he says here that the Pokemon Company is only really going to, we're only going to really see stuff once they start doing marketing, which, true, the game is probably very early on, and if it has been a secret, which, again, I do think the game has been a secret, because none of the insiders I know knew anything. None of the insiders on the internet that we've seen knew anything. Ku did not know anything. Pyoro only heard about Unova. Most of the people that know leaks and stuff, even Soul Silver, even his sources, didn't know much about, the Legends ZA, but they did know about something else, some other project that's in the works, some other third-party studio was working on, and that's something that's probably being made by Ilka and the Pokemon Works company. So, again, we'll see. But he says here, the first half of the year, information will slowly come out, and the Pokemon Company will likely shift their focus on marketing and stuff. I don't think there is going to be a legit leak until the start of June, July, which, yes, again, makes sense. June, July is also when we're expecting the next, not the Pokemon trailer, but next, Nintendo Direct. And I'm expecting to see actually Legends ZA gameplay at Nintendo Direct revealed for the first time. They did the same thing for the Indigo Disc and the Kitakami, right? Kitakami and the Indigo Disc both got revealed with the first gameplay. I think proper gameplay was revealed in June as well. So, that's where I feel like it makes total sense. Now, moving on, he says, even my sources don't know nothing about the state of the game. Leaks will only come out when Game Freak themselves open their doors to the Pokemon Company Incorporated for marketing and trailers. So yeah, I don't really think that Game Freak leaks much directly from Game Freak. I think a lot of the leaks that we do get are probably from the Pokemon Company itself. Now, Ilka is also doing some stuff in the background that people are saying, and that's the reason I guess they're saying Unova, right? Unova remakes. And about Ku, my dude posted a digitalized 8 picture to speculate, and he gave an answer that is obviously not the answer he meant. It is clear that Ku doesn't know anything about PLZA, but he acts like he knows. I'm not a hater, but it's sad to see him being so all-knowing, dude, and saying that it was correct all the time. But he will come back for sure, that's all. Well, yeah, I do think that, he got caught up. I do think Ku was totally wrong about Legends ZA. He didn't have a freaking clue about it. I do think he will get information eventually that will be correct, and then he'll have to course correct. I do think he was off base 100% this time around. He didn't know shit about Legends ZA 100%. And he probably only learned about it, as I've heard from a lot of people. Most people only learned about Legends ZA the night before reveal. Like, literally the day before it was revealed, that's when most people got their actual information, which is why Ku started tweeting a bunch of weird, goofy stuff, which is where the codename thing came into play, because that's where he had the actual codename of the game. So, again, it's a lot of ifs and buts and whens and that kind of stuff. It's all right now going to be up for June. We're all just waiting for freaking June, and that's when we're expecting things to happen. Right now, we ain't got shit else to work with. This is literally all we're waiting for. It's just June, and if it doesn't happen in June, we're all screwed. But we'll see what happens. Either way, that's going to be pretty much it for that part. Let's move on to this post right here. Now, we've got 2 of these. The first one is from Kayla Capsule, who says, potential Legends ZA hint, ? Get ready to make crepes in ZA. Now, with Minnie, Callum, and Serena sitting in Medali, and I think he's talking about these two, want some? Look, crepes, and I think she's trying to compare them to these two, which, sure, I mean, there's some similarities, but fair enough. But she says, the city that's been used to reveal future projects revealed the Loyal 3, Terrapagos, and the Shiny Petra run before DLC was even announced. Interesting. And here they're talking about crepes, right? And crepes are, of course, very French, you know? And okay, so basically what she's trying to make the connection here is that maybe this was already a hint early on back then. And maybe in Legends ZA, we're going to be making crepes or buying crepes. Note that there are crepes stands outside throughout Paldea, not just in Medali. These crepes are a Cantonian recipe. This is interesting because the historical person I most suspect will be one of the Karina's ancestors is a crepe maker who lived where the Tower of Mastery is in real life. And I hear, greetings from Kanto. How about a taste of crepes that are all the rage right now? You can again see right here, made using Cantonian shop owner's prize recipe. This crepe is topped with strawberries and chocolate. And then down here, of course, there is a chance that we know Karina's ancestor, who did the first Mega Evolution, was not from Kalos, based on the in-game dialogue. Could this ancestor be a crepe chef from Kanto, or is it Rai, traveling a Lucario trainer from Hisui, or both? She also made a whole video about this, which I would highly recommend to go check out. Definitely do if you haven't already. Again, give Kayla a follow on Twitter as well. Make some great theories, so definitely give us some love for that. But let's move on to the next thing, which is going to be this right here from Mordecai. She said, food for thought, but the A, and he's talking about the A in the logo for Pokemon Legends ZA. You got the Z and the A, right? He's talking about the A logo. He says it could be standing for Delta or Lambada in the Greek alphabet. We know that Devon Corp was using infinite energy to improve the lives of Pokemon and humans. AZ was mentioned to have stopped Rayquaza from fighting in the Delta episode story. You guys can see right here, AZ, we look at his story here. Mr. Stone mentions that his grandfather used infinity energy, the same energy as the ultimate weapon, to improve the lives of Pokemon, people and Pokemon alike, which the Devon Corporation used to grow into one of the top industries in Hoenn. Now, when the player overhears Wallace's conversation with his master, they discuss that the tree planted in front of the entrance to the Cave of Origin was given to the people of Satopolis by a huge man who visited from the Kalos region. Underneath the tree, there's a flower of the same kind as the one carried by AZ's Floette. At the Sky Pillar, Zinnia tells the player that 1,000 years ago, a tall visitor from a distant land witnessed how Mega Rayquaza stopped a fight between Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre. He's quoted to have said, "It is the Delta, born of the great disturbance in this world, by the bonds born." And let's see, here we are, where are we? By the bonds born of mankind's wishes and the power of stones. It will calm the trouble that plagues the world. Which, yes, again, it makes total sense if these are connected. Again, there's a lot of these connections. If you even look at the tree that's here, like, I mean, come on. AZ planted it. We have a similar tree down at the bottom. So AZ could have also been in Paldea at some point. I mean, the man seemed to travel all over the place. And he may have gone down there too to investigate terrestrialization and all that. And maybe like terrestrializing and all that stuff is kind of connected. He even says here, so it can be presumed that Legends and Legends ZA is a Delta or Lambada at the end and was planned since ORAS as a metaverse built by Devencorp and Steven Stone in the future of the Kalos region. AZ might have had his hand in its development as well as amending his war. And you do also have a bit of an argument here by Jan, who says the counter argument is we know that the thing is pronounced the same as the English letter A. In the case, why would it be Delta or Lambada? I would believe if it's Delta or Lambada, the game will be called Z Delta or Z Lambada, while we clearly know it's called ZA. Because the X and Y games also tied with ORAS, so I'm speculating because that's implying something. There's also the mathematical symbol that resembles the logo too, which is true. You do have ZA, and it looks just like this symbol right here, which is, again, it just makes sense. And this is the Blanc Esponge, I think, logo, right? And then, yeah, you have the same thing going on with, like, the, the actual designs of the other Pokemon. It's the same thing going on. It's a lot of like mirroring and stuff. It's a lot of that. But yeah, again, there's a whole discussion here between Jan and them. But yeah, I'm not going to be going into all of that right now. Instead, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, then drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. And of course, make sure to go get your hands on the Fake Out, EU 1C. Make sure you get your hands on the, of course, Meganium and all that kind of stuff. And go watch the championship, guys. And thank you for watching. Peace out.